Pat Ford Coalition Radio Network here at the Rhode Island State Police Headquarters in North Scituate, Rhode Island. It's a bucolic scene. Marching up, if you will, to the police complex is Paul Rihanna Jr. He is a candidate for governor, as well as the leader, if you will, of the anti-mandate movement. Mr. Rihanna, what are you doing here today? It's a beautiful day.
Right now we're here to hand in a formal complaint against the Rhode Island State Police due to excessive force at the rally at McKee's house.
Okay. Some of the conventional media is criticizing the organization for taking it to people's homes. How would you like to respond to that?
If he would have met with us at the beginning, we did numerous requests. I followed the procedures and he didn't get back to us. So the only way to get his attention was to go to his home. No matter if it looks negative or not, to us it was positive. It was a peaceful vigil. It wasn't meant to be, violent. The state police antagonized and turned it that way. If you watch the videos on the Coalition Radio and John DePietro, you would see that.
How many times had you attempted yourself and/or members of the leadership of your, I'll call it an organization, how many times have you attempted to reach the governor?
Well, between all of us, probably thousands. But from me, at least 30 times. I've reached out. I've even seen him at media press conferences and saying, give me Paul's information and I'll contact him. And it was given and still haven't heard nothing.
When you say that there was excessive force, what exactly are you accusing state police of doing?
Well, first off, we were trying to move at the beginning. They told us to move, we moved. And then as things got on, as you see in the video, they charged Tyler Bonin, sorry. They charged Tyler, and then Joshua got caught up in the middle, and then they swung and dragged him, banged his head against the car, and then took him behind the car where we couldn't see what happened. But right now, Josh is at the emergency room getting his ribs checked out.
Did you ever go on Governor McKee's property or trespass at his home in any way?
No, we didn't. We didn't go on his property. We didn't step foot even close to his mailbox. They shut us down. They tried to shut us down at the corner where they had him blocking the street. And then, we have the right to protest, so we got by. But we did not step on his on his property at all.
For folks who might not be familiar with your organization, it kind of just explain why you went there, why are you protesting, what was it that you wanted the governor to know?
Well, we're protesting due to the unfair mandates, for healthcare workers and everybody else. Everyone should have a choice to get vaccinated. If he would have met with us in a closed-door setting, he meets with everyone else. He met with the firefighters union and every other union out there, but he won't meet with us. We're Rhode Island taxpayers and citizens, and I'm fighting for the people, and they're behind me 100%, because no one should be forced to take a vaccine that they don't want, even if it's against their religious beliefs or, just body autonomy in general.
Folks on the other side are going to say, you don't have to take the vaccine, but your employer has a right to tell you that you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, well, 18 months ago, they didn't feel that they had to do that when there was no vaccine and we were so short-staffed. As they are still short-staffed, we were working as hard as we can, and now we went from hero to zeros in 2.5 seconds. It makes no sense to me.
But there was no vaccine at that time, and now we have a vaccine, right?
Exactly. There's a flu vaccine, but it's still optional. When you work in healthcare, the flu vaccine's optional, and a couple other vaccines are also optional.
Are you guys all healthcare workers? And all at Kent or different places?
We're not all healthcare workers. We're all unified from the community, and we're all members together standing behind not only the members of the healthcare community, but as well as other parts of the community, the fire department, the EMTs, our children who are being forced to wear masks in school by illegal mandates and such. And to respond to your question about whether or not your employer has the right to mandate a vaccine, if your employer required you to get a colorectal exam for you to perform your duties, would you think that would be okay?
Were any of you guys there or actually saying that you were assaulted?
We were there.
And were you somebody
Yes,
that
I
you
was.
were assaulted? All right,
Sure.
Can you tell me what happened to you?
Sure. I was in the thick of it because my son Tyler, who got arrested, was there. My wife was there, and I was there. And so we were kind of all in the same cluster. And at one point, when the chaos began, you could see it escalating. You could see that the captain was intentionally upset that he wasn't able to break us up, that we were complying and we were peaceful. And that wasn't working well with him. So as the procession continued, there was a sudden rush of people who were in the crowd where there was all this grabbing and pulling that came out of nowhere. And that's when I saw my son getting corralled and pushed up against a cruiser and slammed over the hood. As I ran to his side, he kept calling out, "Somebody videotape it." Well, it happened to be me. But the captain was bullying us to leave or he'd arrest us. He threatened to take out the zip ties. He said, "If you don't leave, I'm going to arrest you." And we were still very peaceful. We were praying. We're not doing anything. We weren't like excessively loud. And as we were leaving, when it finally came down to after the arrest of these two young men, I was confronted by the captain, who came up to me shouting, move along," and then pushed me along. And I looked at him and I said, "You don't have to push me. I'm not stupid. You can talk to me." And I find that terribly offensive, that someone in his position doesn't know how to manage crowd control where he doesn't incite a riot. He brought that on. We didn't.
Were you injured at all?
No, but the thing is, being pushed, he doesn't have a right to push me.
That could be psychological.
First of all, it's one thing to get bumped by somebody in a crowd, but he came up to me and he was face to face with me, and it's all on video, and he pushed me. I'm sorry. I've never been treated this way by police my entire life, and I'm 72 years old. Never was treated like this and never saw this kind of police abuse.
And Tyler is your son? Was
Yes,
he
he is.
injured in any way?
Nothing that we can say he was injured, but I don't know. I'm not.
No comment.
All right, no comment.
What specifically happened to him since you were right there?
Well,
Yeah, you don't have to go into that.
all right. Well, I saw him being arrested, and again, at that point in time, everything started to unravel and became very, very hostile in the whole environment. And at that time, we wanted to leave because this was no longer a safe environment for us. I did not feel safe there anymore.
Who did you not feel safe from?
The police,
Particularly the Rhode Island State Police?
yes.
Can you tell the audience who will listen to this, what were the two, the prayer and the oath that you recited immediately prior to the arrests?
Well, we were saying the Lord's Prayer. We pledged allegiance to
Out
our
loud.
flag. And again, there was a eulogy that was being addressed while we were there. And we were just being a peaceful crowd. We weren't looking to shout or to be, loud in any way. We were being quiet and peaceful because we weren't trying to agitate anything. We just wanted our presence known.
What's your first and last name, sir?
My first name is Renald Bonin,
Can you spell both of those?
Renald. Last name Bonin, Bonin.
Okay, great.
Ma'am, did you want to say something as well? Yeah, I know that your son was
yes,
involved.
after my son
if you can
was
come over here a little
arrested,
bit.
I was very concerned, and when I saw them throwing Tyler over the hood of the car and trying to zip tie his arms, his wrists, I became very, how can I say, upset, and I kept saying, "Leave him alone." So, and I'm getting emotional because all I do is relive this over and over since Friday.
Ma'am,
So-
then what was your son's former occupation?
He was a Marine.
No, in the healthcare field.
Oh, in the healthcare field, I'm sorry.
And then before that, though?
He was, all right, Tyler, it was,
I was in the Marine Corps prior to my 10-year service in the healthcare field.
Tyler, do you want to do an interview
I
as
don't-
well?
I do
You
not
don't?
wish to say
Okay,
anything at this
just
time.
your mom and
Thank
dad. And what was your name, ma'am?
Alda.
Alda, A-L-D-A?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And so you guys are going to deliver that complaint in there. Now, are you actually suing state police, or this is just a written
Well,
complaint?
I had already went to the Attorney General's office and filed a complaint with Peter Nerona. and now we're gonna do this, and I'm thinking about going to a U.S. attorney and complaining about our civil rights
I've also
violations.
spoken with an attorney as well.
Okay. So wait and see on that right
Yes,
now.
ma'am.
Okay. And what was your first and last name?
Paul Rianna, Paulrianna.
And what's the name of your organization?
Freedom
Freedom
Fighter.
Fighters.
Freedom Fighters, yep.
Okay. Thank you.
I do want to say, like, just in conclusion, that we are proud supporters of the police. They have been at every single one of our rallies and have kept us safe. And this one was very different than ever before. We've handed in this fault fully falls on Governor McKee. He has incited us. We have handed in petitions. We have contacted his office with personalized letters and email accounts, and he has ignored everything. We have lost our jobs. There are people that are supporting our freedoms, and that's like where we stand. And if anyone is to be blamed, it's not the police, it is Governor McKee.
What's your first and last name?
Taryn Carbone,
Can you spell both of those?
TARYNCARBONE.
And are you a healthcare worker as well?
I am.
Where do you work?
Well, I used to work at Rhode Island Hospital, and I will say that, you know, to go after 10% of healthcare workers that have religious freedoms in the state, and Dan McKee is a firm believer that Rhode Islanders have religious freedoms. So why we're not being addressed and heard is disgusting.
And you lost your job because of the mandate there at Rhode Island Hospital?
Yes, and I'm an excellent nurse. Everyone who has walked away from this profession did not take it lightly. There's a lack of trust in healthcare right now, you know, and I think that, you know, for somebody to have strong religious freedoms, it shouldn't come down to lose your job or follow your faith. And you're in religion. The Pope might have said that it's okay to get the vaccine, but he also said you have to follow your own moral conscience. So if your moral conscience says that that is not correct, then you should not do something against your moral conscience.
One question, quick question. Has the state acted against your license to act as a registered nurse?
Not yet, but it's been said that in the future, they will not let us renew our licenses because of our beliefs.
Thank you.
No, but the state has acted unconstitutionally. And to touch on what Taryn has said, we are all supportive of many fabrics of our society, including the police. However, given the fact that McGee is at the top of this and is the catalyst behind what took place Friday, in many respects, the officers there did not act to their oath, nor did they act to the professional standards that you would think the Rhode Island State Police should be held accountable for. Number 14 predominantly was exacerbating the situation. I can see by the look in your eyes, Miss, you don't seem to care by the shiftiness, and that's unfortunate that media is going to betray us in such an unfortunate matter. But I would like to say to the folks that are here that unfortunately we were all treated unfairly that day. There was children, there was a woman in a wheelchair. We walked 1.5 miles there and 1.5 miles back just to try to bring a message and a vigil of peace to a gentleman's, not even his home, but to the street, which is a public passage. And before we even got there, we had numerous things preventing us, a roadblock, and 50 some odd police officers who would respond to what? 40, 50 individuals trying to bring a message and have a vigil of peace. And we were responded to as if we were there to kind of light up a police car outside the mall and try to get away with it.
A big thing too with Dan McKee's response, he said after our vigil, our peaceful vigil, that he encourages us to go and do those acts. And then he took it back at the parade. So a governor that goes back and forth on his word, there's a lack of confidence in this administration and government right now. And there are legislatures that are in our support that don't agree with his mandates and want to be brought back in to make votes on this and change things, come back into session.
So you guys are going to deliver these in?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get out of your way here.
Thank you.
We want you recording everybody in. Individual record, please.
screenshot of it and would.
Send it to my email, all right?
Folks, we're inside the foyer, if you will, of the Rhode Island State Police Public Safety Complex in North Scituate, Rhode Island, where a group of the individuals who were directly impacted by Friday night's police incited riot have chosen to file formal complaints. My understanding is that they've already been to the Attorney General's office and are also contemplating filing civil rights charges at the federal level. Waiting patiently in line, and we'll be sure to bring you the transfer of paperwork. What's fascinating about this situation is that these are folks who are clearly not typically found in police foyers on weekday afternoons. Most of them, well, were typically at work. That's not the case now, and that's how we all ended up here. So hang on for a few minutes, and we'll see what transpires. As always, we are the Coalition Radio, facebook.com/the Coalition Radio, coalitionradionetwork.com, on the mighty Twitter at coalitionradio.us, and we'll be sharing this with you. We're not live right now. We're kind of out in the boonies, so we figured we'd tape it, and we'll get it right up to you. So stay tuned.
You're not recording me, I hope.
No.
When did we go?
I sent it, do you get it?
Send it to me? Okay. Perfect. All right, that should be good. Like I said, I'll give you a
Match
call.
202 is the one receiving the paperwork.
I agree, I'd like to get out of here.
Remember that
So
number?
I'll give you a call, but, try to do the one that we need to Okay?
Yes, because as I saw on the internet, he's doing it to many people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm close, but what about the people in all the different states?
Yeah.
That they can't.
We'll start here, and if we can go bigger, we'll go bigger, and that's, yeah, as far as we can go.
I did file earlier a federal claim because it's federal, because it's in every state.
Did you never received anything?
No, I did it right before I called you. It's one of those places where you fill it out.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a referral to the federal government
Okay. Just that.
from the state, your state.
From the state website?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, very good. So we'll start here. I think we get a good idea of who those two people are.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I think I can do something. All right?
Thank you.
All right.
All right, take care. I appreciate it. Oh, good luck, people.
Thank you.
Be the people.
Yep, that's right.
right.
They may come out that door, just in case. I can't.
He's coming around for you.
That's what I thought.
How you doing?
Good, you?
Good.
We're here to drop off a formal complaint
Okay.
against Rhode Island State Police due to excessive force at Governor Jan McKee's house.
Okay.
Is there a way we can get a timestamp stating that we dropped
Well, my
off?
lieutenant's actually going to be on his way over here if you want to speak with him.
How long would that be, sir?
How long will that be?
A few minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Fair enough.
Just take a seat.
Thank you.
All right.
stitching together.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, hold on. Hold on 1 second, please. This is.
Hi. We're here to hand in excessive force complaints against the Rhode Island State Police that were at Dan McKee's house. There you go, there's one. Can I have a timestamp?
No, I'll get them to the professional standards unit. They'll get in touch with you that way. I don't investigate them, it goes to our professional.
Okay, can I at least have proof of?
Validation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No. That's me, yes. You can put my name, everyone knows it.
Is that one complaint for everyone? Is everyone?
Nope, everyone has their own.
All want a receipt?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
Could you come outside, officer?
No.
Please?
Okay.
No. Okay, next. Can we at least speak to someone out here?
No, if you want an interview, you need to go.
We've been
to the
waiting for-
relations contact
Listen.
and set up a question.
Okay. Next. They're all gonna give us receipts.
Oh, Tracy, come here.
What are you? Yes.
No.
He's just looking it over.
Yeah.
Folks, we're here at the Rhode Island State Police Headquarters after a interminable wait. Folks are being allowed to turn in their formal complaints to the Rhode Island State Police. An officer has yet to come out and actually discuss with folks, well, anything. So we're going to wait and see what happens. Some could say the irony of this is, well, this is how this all started in the first place. If I could take poetic license, right now there's a heavy-duty glass wall between the citizens and the Rhode Island State Police.
Individual receipts with each on your name.
The same thing always seems to be true.
Individual.
Yeah, we want individual. Can we do individual, please?
Very good. We'll be a couple minutes for each person, all right?
All right, thank you.
Handed.
Delay tactics. Standard procedure for them. Unfortunately.
This is insane. That lady that made a report was in and out in 5 to 10 minutes.
For a special interest, I'm sure. Surgeons have the keys.
Tracy?
Yes. Thank you.
Mind that?
Thank you.
You're gonna need to be out there.
Because even I thought she was arrested for it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh.
Next.
Okay, thank you.
I have two. I want to make sure.
All right.
You want to take a work now?
Mine will get lost. I know I'll lose it.
Thank you.
That's great. It's gonna help you.
I want you to told her somebody
Oh, I'm sorry. I know. I know Peter Alvidi's gonna miss you so much. You know, and Jack Reed and
especially Jack Reed.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Reed spoke to me at the Federal Hill. Let's just keep it peaceful. That's what he said. I said,
Hey, Jack. We got a thing going on.
All good.
Thank you.
The day of the Haitian president was assassinated, he had to be at ceremony. I actually have two, your officer. This is my, one on behalf of myself. This is on behalf of my 12-year-old daughter who is also present. As well as some statutes.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I just looked at that. Because that's what they did last time.
oh, because they helped us here. Kent County rally. 2 o'clock at Kent County docks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
But it just stinks because it puts a target.
Are you hanging up there?
Thank you.
You got college degrees. That's groundbreaking.
Now it's considered that they're probably getting food there.
Oh, man. They let the media eat?
I don't believe so, sir. Nobody else, correct?
Nope.
Nope, that's all.
No, sir, that's it.
Tell him. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Thank you, sir.
There was some also filed online,
And we'll be in later.
and there'll be more in later.
4:30, I believe.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Paul, any closing statements, if you will?
We will not give up this fight for freedom, and we are all united as healthcare workers and citizens of Rhode Island.
United we stand, divided.
All for government.
Vote for governor, that too.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.